The following program is produced by the AM First Radio Network and distributed by Global American Broadcasting, the GAB Radio Network.
Thank you for tuning in for this edition of Justice Watch with Attorney Zulu Ali. I am Attorney Zulu Ali with the Justice Crew. Rosa Nunez, Michael Bilal Clark, Dr. Akil Bashir, and Andrea Rodeman. This week, like every week, we'll be discussing critical legal and social justice issues that are impacting our communities. Today, our topic is going to be the untimely death of rappers, a culture, corporate, or conspiracy. Today we will have a special guest that's going to be joining us at probably around after the first break. But anyway, we chose to speak about this topic because I think here as late we've been seeing a significant number of individuals who are part of the hip-hop or rap community that have actually been involved in some recent deaths. I believe the most recent one that we had was the rapper that goes by the name of PNB Rock, and actually he was signed to a label called Empire Records, and Empire Records basically, at least within the last 4 years, it's my understanding, have actually had 4 individuals that have been killed in the last year, and he's supposed to be the 6th rapper that has been killed. That back in 2018, there was a rapper by the name of, what was his name?
XX Testacion.
He was killed in 2000. Well, he signed in 2017. He was killed in 2018, and he had just signed a $10 million deal just months before he was gunned down. Then we had a Texas rapper by the name of
MO3.
that basically he was also signed. He signed with Empire Records in 2019, but was fatally shot a year later in 2020. Then we had in 2021 a rapper by the name of Dolph?
Young Dolph. Yeah.
Was known to distribute his projects under his own record label, but in 2018 he signed a deal with Empire Records and he was shot dead in his hometown in 2021. We had another one in 2022, Drakeo the Ruler, which he was signed to Empire Records back in 2020, releasing only one project under the label, and then basically he was stabbed earlier, actually this year. And so, as we can see, I mean, it seems to be, somewhat of a trend, so to speak, of seeing these rappers that have been killed. And then in 2015, there was a study that stated that murder was the cause of 51.5% of all American hip-hop artists' death. They had been, many of these artists who have been murdered have not seen life past the age of 30 because they were taken from us, obviously, at a very young age. And so, obviously, violent crimes in this particular genre have been around for a long time. They said that it was at its worst in the 1970s, which I don't see that, right? Where rap was at its prime, and they were actually not as, and I think that maybe they're saying because at that time they were actually engaged or involved in, in gangs and the rap game, and they had beefs, with each other because they would be in these rival gangs. Then of course we had the earlier days of, I guess most people, when you think about the violence in the rap gang, I think most people can kind of connect to what was going on earlier between rival gangs or between rivalries between like Tupac and the Notorious B.I.G. These were artists that were shot, obviously, a short time within each other. And that was something that actually had been, something that has gone on for a significant period of time. So, I mean, and everybody, of course, we talk about, is it culture, is it corporate, or is it community? I mean, or is it culture, corporate, or conspiracy? And obviously, we have a lot of people who are of the opinion that basically there's some sort of conspiracy. I know that not too long ago we had the issue with, Nipsey Hussle, who actually was someone who was taken away from us not too long ago. We had didn't K Slay wasn't he murdered earlier this year?
DJ
DJ K Slate, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he die of something else? No,
I don't know if I don't remember if it was murder. I thought he had
COVID or something. I believe it was.
was it COVID?
I know he's been around for
Yeah, he
a long time. There's a rapper by the name of Trouble,
Yeah, Trouble was killed.
who's basically this out of Atlanta, who was killed this year. Then we had Lil Keed,
Little kid. Yeah.
yeah, who was a rapper that was killed as well. Then we had Snooty Wild.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with
Snooty
him?
Wild, yeah.
Then we had obviously DJ K Slay, and he did die. Actually, he was a music promoter, obviously, but he died after contracting, COVID,
Yeah.
like you said. T. Dot Wu, who passed away after being shot in Brooklyn. We have Wavy Navy Pooh. Are you familiar with him?
I am not familiar.
He's a
with
Miami
him.
rapper who died in January following a drive-by shooting.
Yeah.
Gunu,
Gunu.
he was actually a rapper from Washington, D.C., who actually, he was actually just 24 years old. He was another, and he was shot dead in Prince George's County and pronounced dead at the hospital. Then we have Lil Devin.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with him?
I'm not. These are all within this year.
Yeah, these are all this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He was born in Indiana, and he basically killed in January at a New Year's party.
Yeah.
Then we have Archie Eversole. He was best known for his 2002 single "We Ready." And on March the 25th, he was found by police at Decatur gas station with a gunshot wound to the face. And then we have FGB Cash, who actually was another rapper who was shot and killed on the south side of Chicago on June the 10th. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes Naughty Osama. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with him? He was stabbed during a fight on July the 9th. You got Young Slow B, who was another one that was killed. Then you got Hypo. Are you familiar with Hypo? Rapper Hypo, whose actual name was Lamar Jackson, was murdered on June the 3rd after attending a Platinum Jubilee party in Woodford Green, London. He's from London. He was a British grime rapper, songwriter, producer whose songs include First Night, Run These Street All Summer, and Flake song My Ex. He was just 39 years old. So I mean, there you go. I mean, is it the culture? Let's begin there. I mean, is this an issue where we are seeing a culture that is producing? Is it the music? I mean, what is it?
I think it's a culture, but also I think that, there's different levels to it. In one aspect, I do think it's a culture because I think that when you get that money, how they say it changed people. And I believe that in that type of culture, you can't go out and flaunt your stuff. We can date this all the way back to Tupac and Biggie. We can date it back. That's the rival that really kind of stands out most from everything else. But we can see where when he was in Las Vegas, Tupac was in Las Vegas, and they got this chain snatched, and then it led to something else. Then it led to the rival between him and Biggie, and I think like even now with the recent thing of PNB Rock, you know, he's in a known gang neighborhood, and who would just pop up in a known gang neighborhood? You know you're worth millions, and you got this chain on, and somebody, they look at a payday. I'm finna go in here and I'm finna go, grab this chain and I'm gonna move on. That's a payday for that person, and you in the hood. But I think when you look back at the culture, back in the days when you saw people like Dr. Dre and Eazy-E and all these different other rappers, they didn't have all these gold chains and stuff like that. Nowadays you see a lot of rappers with it, but the average gang member look at that, you come in my hood, and you don't have a pass through this neighborhood, then I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna take advantage of you. That's a payday for me. I think it's culture in a sense, but then when you look back at all of the rappers that were slain, that's up under Empire Records. A lot of people, look at that as a conspiracy because a lot of people look at the corporate level where once you sign a contract, not only do you sign a contract, a record label contract, but you sign as far as like an insurance policy. They take out insurance policy on these rappers nowadays. So it's a payday for them if they get knocked down. So there's no sweat off of their back. So in that regard, you can look at it on a corporate level and say it's culture and corporate in a sense.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Idea for a radio show but have no idea where to start? Or have you been hosting a podcast for a while and want to take it to the next level? If so, you need the Gab Radio Network. To host a show on the Gab Radio Network, all you need is your voice, and we'll handle the rest, from technical engineering to full-service audio production and much more. Every show on the Gab Radio Network can be heard on our station on the TuneIn Radio app. Plus, we put all of our shows on our satellite, which is accessed by over 5,500 stations. And here's the best part. You can host from anywhere you want. There are many means to connect to the Gab Radio Network remotely, and our staff of highly trained engineers and producers will make you sound like you're right here in studio. So, if you want to be on the Gab Radio Network, the same network that hosts the Small Business Advocate, Radio MD, and The Federalist, send an email right now to sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
Nubian Pictures presents a CCM Films production documentary entitled Purpose and Freedom. Keep your hand on the plow. This emotional and strong documentary tells the story of African-American lawyer Zulu Ali seeking justice and his purpose as a lawyer, while crossing paths with Araceli, an undocumented immigrant from Mexico who is seeking her freedom. Together, they help discover their purpose and freedom in each other. Watch this incredible film today from iTunes Movies, YouTube Movies, Amazon Prime, and Google Play Movies. Learn about the cast and crew, links to purchase, and more at purposeandfreedommovie.com. Purpose and Freedom. Keep your hand on the plow. Available now. Rated G.
I did not feel safe. That's why I decided to come to California, because I didn't feel safe in Mexico.
It's kind of like the system, and if you go outside the system, then it becomes a struggle.
Are you an immigrant seeking defense representation and are looking to protect your rights? Or maybe someone who is experiencing an injustice or discrimination and need a lawyer you can trust? Well, that's exactly why you need the help of award-winning trial lawyer Zulu Ali. The law offices of Zulu Ali provides immigration defense representation for those seeking justice and looking to protect their rights. If you or a loved one needs professional legal advice and representation, then contact Zulu Ali. Zulu Ali's firm focuses on criminal law, family law, civil and personal injury, and international law. Zulu Ali is a former police officer and U.S. Marine, so you know you're in good hands. Serving all of California and immigration cases nationwide, representing victims and suspects at the International Criminal Court at The Hague. Call Zulu Ali today at 888-682-3049 or visit ZuluAliLaw.com.
Welcome back to Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali and the Justice Watch crew, where we're continuing with our discussion on the issue of the untimely death of rappers, culture, corporate, or conspiracy. So at any rate, joining this in this second segment is a very, very special guest, the legendary rapper Akil the MC of the legendary group Jurassic 5. Man, thank you for joining us, brother.
Peace, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
Man, thank you for having me.
Oh, for sure.
How you doing today, bro?
I'm
Assalamu
fine,
alaikum.
brother. Walaikum salam. And we followed your career both as a member of Jurassic 5 and your individual work as well.
Wow.
And I just want to tell you, man, your message, your impact, your positivity, and your skill is at least for me is second to none in my book. And
Wow.
yeah, man, and I
Well,
know
thank you.
that as far as groups are concerned, I mean, you do what you great at what you do in your own right. But I know listening to, Jurassic 5, I mean, I think that sometimes I wonder if people are sleeping on you because you brothers, man. I mean, you guys put it in there, man. I mean, listening to the messages that you have and the way
Right.
that you kind of feed off each other. You know what I mean? I mean, you
Right.
have other groups, man, but they, you guys are really smooth the way you go in and out. And again, it's the message that you have, man. And I definitely, man, it's an honor to have you joining us today on our topic, man. We'll appreciate that.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that and stuff. Yeah, I was trying to drop a little message in there, but we kind of came in hip hop at a time when the message wasn't as weighty as it used to be and stuff. So we didn't want to be too preachy,
Right.
So we just drop it here and there and stuff, and then the style that we were doing, nobody was actually on that style. So it's just within hip hop, you try to be different than the next person anyway and stuff. So it just worked out for us and stuff. So I appreciate you even hearing that.
Right. Yeah, definitely, man. So, and I know, man, like the early days of hip hop, we were listening to KRS-One and Rakim and Public Enemy, A Tribe Called Quest,
Definitely.
and then we kind of went into, kind of veered a little, away
To
from
another
some
world.
of that. Right.
Right.
You know.
Definitely. So I've been an avid listener of hip hop at least since I would say since like 83, 84 and stuff. So so for Jurassic 5, we were a culmination of all of those eras up into the time that we came out and stuff. So we had a little bit of Run DMC and Houdini and Fat Boys era, then
Right.
like what you were saying, the KRS-One era and Public Enemies and stuff like that and stuff, and then some of the early 90s or whatnot and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to see you guys at the Good Life.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Yes. Our stomping grounds.
That's right. Me and my little dance crew, we be up there.
Oh, that's what's up. Man. Respect. Yeah, that's the spot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, and then of course, we saw that like as we got back into the early 2000s, we started seeing the like the Common and some of those other Most Def and some of those other artists that were kind of coming back into
the
right.
Roots and all them.
Yeah.
Just different groups. Yep.
Yeah.
And start seeing that resurgence of that and stuff.
Yeah, coming back to the whole idea of, because man, I think that people, at least from my perspective, I mean, there was a period, especially like during the Africa Bambaataa, of course, he's become a controversial figure at this point.
Right.
But I mean, I know that it was being used as a way to unite people by doing the hip hop, the b-boying, and bringing that all in there to kind of change. Because I know that coming out of the Bronx, it was like Beirut, you know what I mean. And then when he came through with that and bringing people together, and then it was a way of us voicing our opinion, and it was also letting people know really what was going on, and also so many positive messages that came out of that, and I'm missing it, man.
No, definitely. I'm with you 100% and stuff. Just growing up in South Central LA and stuff. We had a similar, with the gangs and stuff like that and stuff. So, wanting people to come together and be united or whatnot and stuff. Hip hop was that therapy for us and stuff, and it was just that way of like communicating and trying to get people to see this way of life and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then, 92 riots came and stuff, and then we seen a large inkling of it and stuff. It changed, after that and stuff, because you start seeing, Crips and Bloods getting together, and this was something that was like only a dream prior to that, you know what I mean? But
Right.
to actually be living it and seeing it, but then seeing that hip hop was a part of that catalyst and stuff, people like Ice Cube, pushing these messages and stuff, and then to see that it catch fire, and, and then the powers that be, they say they like, no, we can't let this be. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
got to keep the the demonic forces going on and keeping them agitated and stuff. So enter into money and everything, and and that brought a whole nother realm of it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because how can you fight against money and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have none. You know what I'm saying? And then you get these. But the messages was still always there, but then it just wasn't as prevalent as it was and stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm missing it too as well and stuff. I kind of see a couple of kids coming back. I don't know if you're familiar with this group, Coast Contra and stuff. They pretty. It's a group and stuff, and actually two of them are Razcast, the rapper Razcast, his sons and stuff are in the group and stuff. But they're really good. They they got the head on straight and stuff. So it's it makes me proud to be like, okay, something's coming back.
Right.
It's a different era or whatnot.
Right.
So,
And I know, man, we've always had this issue at one point in time of sports. Of course, the East Coast, we remember the East Coast, West Coast beef that came in the early 90s, I guess. And then, but it seems like lately, I think the thing that's been alarming is the number of, rappers that have been killed, by the late. We talk about Nipsey Hussle, and
Right.
then we, the other brother like PH.
Yeah. A P&B Rock,
Yeah.
Pop Smoke,
Yeah. Triple X.
Right.
yeah, all of them, King Von.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, do you think that it's their music, or you think? I mean, why do you think that we're just seeing this just crisis of these deaths and violent deaths of these of the new rappers, or not new rappers, but rappers,
younger rappers, and
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's just a out of control climate. It's the climate. It's the climate that's the climate and lack of guidance. Like people kind of like just let it go. Like, oh, this is the new kids. Let them have their way, and then how they gonna what I'm saying? How when you was younger and stuff, and then older people was trying to but it's just a difference and stuff because I grew up at a time when we tried to be like older people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, we got our guidance from older people and stuff. We wanted to sneak into the 21 and over club. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't trying to just like acquiesce to the young thing. We wanted to be like the older people and stuff. And so I attribute it to from basically from the crack era as well and stuff, where there's like, we lost a lot of elders and people that were initiators in passing down things and stuff, like oldies and stuff, like I grew up off of oldies, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
and so, but the kids today, they don't know none of those songs.
Right.
Yeah.
But it used to be a tradition of passing down music and stuff. And once crack hit and stuff, then that older uncle or that older auntie that would have been that catalyst, to be that chain of, passing down things and stuff, they, got on drugs or whatnot and stuff. So then the younger kids, a little bit younger than my generation and stuff. I was born in '70 and stuff. So the little young kids and stuff are watching it, and all they see is, oh, this is Smoker Uncle. This is, she smoked out. They don't know the respect that they used to have before crack cocaine hit.
Right.
And stuff, right? So you see this lack of respect for older people and stuff. So it's like, oh, it's just a young thing and stuff, So that it got out of control, and we just, you let the young kid, now they in control.
Right.
And with no guidance and stuff, So a lot of them are renegades and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They like forget the older order of things and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We running this, and that's that old stuff, and and so if you try to tell them, and I'm not saying not all of them are like this and stuff, but far too many are like this and stuff, and a lot of older people just let them do it.
Right.
So so I would I would place blame in a lot of different places and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But one, in particular is just some people still wanting to be relevant. So you're not gonna say nothing when you should be saying something to these cats and stuff. It don't have to be in a point the finger type way and stuff, but it has to be some type of finesse and some type, to be able to like like a certain type of way, and that didn't happen and stuff. You see more so people, I'm sorry with these youngsters, you know what I'm saying? I'm with these, you know what I'm saying? Because they popping and now they got you popping and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about money for you and you to stay relevant, as opposed to recognizing that they going down a destructive path.
Right.
And it's just off the chain. I never even heard of PNB Rock.
Right. Wow. I hadn't either.
I hadn't. A lot of these cats that's getting. I never had even heard. I seen like a video last year, like about 200 rappers that got killed, and I didn't know none of these dudes.
Right. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, can you hold on for a minute? We're gonna take a real quick break and come back on the other side. Okay, thank you.
No doubt.
We'll be right back on the other side of the break.
There's a new nationally syndicated radio program that's sweeping the nation, and you don't want to miss it. Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali, the voice of justice for the people. The focus of Justice Watch is to provide an honest analysis and viable solutions to the criminal and social justice crisis in America and the world from a black, brown, working class, and socially disadvantaged perspective, and to motivate listeners to be informed and part of the solution. Zulu Ali is joined by the Justice Crew, consisting of Rosa Nunez, Michael Clark, Dr. Akil Bashir, and Charito Ali to tackle the most pressing issues. Host attorney Zulu Ali is a former police officer, U.S. Marine Corps veteran, and an award-winning trial lawyer who focuses on representing persons accused of crimes, immigrants, victims of discrimination, and persons seeking civil justice. Find out how to listen to Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali at justicewatchradio.com.
All right, welcome back to Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali and the Justice Watch crew, and I very, very, very special guest, Akil, the MC. I'm sorry I had to cut you off a little bit early.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I understand. Got to pay the bills.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's interesting that you said that about PNB Rock.
Yeah,
you
PNB
know,
Rock.
and I haven't heard much about him either, actually. And actually, I hadn't heard about him, period, until this happened. I mean, so, and that's what's interesting about the way in which, music is consumed now that we have, instead of, back in the day where we would go out, we'd buy the CD or we would buy something and, listen to it on the radio and record stores basically don't really exist anymore. And now you got everything on this platform. And it seems like, from a corporate perspective of trying to get the music out there, it seems that quantity, and I may be wrong because I'm not an expert on the music industry, nor do I know that much about it, but it seems like there's more, are these corporations more interested more in quantity than they are quality, just based upon the way that records are consumed these days?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because if they was really concerned, you would. They would set that bar and stuff like how back in the days, like on the radio station, they set that bar. You wasn't trying to come up there with no cussing, You couldn't come out with a song with cussing in it and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then slowly but surely you start seeing them beeping and stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And then they reverse the record. Now it's just like they don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's so part of that blame where we're talking about and stuff, it definitely goes from the corporate side, but then then the outlets and stuff, the media outlets that allow it now, where they didn't used to allow it and stuff. So if the corporate side says, "Oh no, we don't want that type of music," then somebody that really wants to be in the industry, they're going to curtail their stuff. Oh no, they not signing nobody if you're not doing doing this or whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because people, no matter what, as well as independent artists do, people still want to be signed to record labels.
Wow.
They still want to be part of the corporation. They still want to be because they feel some type of validation in that and stuff. It's like if you hear your song on the radio, somebody hear you like, oh, they automatically think you made it and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that validation of wanting to sing like you made it and stuff. As opposed to I'm just gonna do it independent and stay here and stuff. And you got a lot of that as well and stuff. But then eventually they still succumb to still like, well, I just still kind of want to, be validated. And they could be doing very well independently and stuff, but they still will mess around and sign that deal or do that type of, validation type of thing. So from the corporate side of it and stuff, yeah, it's about quantity, not quality and stuff, because they have the very power to be like, yo, we not signing you talking about killing people, we not gonna do that.
Right.
They have all the right, but then they allow it and stuff,
Right.
And and then on the flip side of it, I hear a lot of what I'm saying, like, because if they die, then what happens? Your catalog goes
Your
up and
catalog
stuff.
goes
You know
up.
what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they have all to gain and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say like they're just out there for that, but I have heard that after '92 there was like some type of meeting and stuff. Where they was basically going to promote the type of stuff that get people locked up and because. Like I'm saying, these people become more popular and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so, it's about the quantity and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
since they blowing up and that it doesn't matter that they can be still in jail or dead and they still making money for the label or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I look at it like this too, is that if you have something invested, you're going to protect it at all costs.
You should.
So I mean, if you have someone under your label, and they walking about or they going to the hood, and that it's deadly where they're going, I believe that you're going to put some type of protection on your property, on your investment, right? But the fact that they're not even having their artists protected, and just letting them go about it. That tells the story alone. That's saying that you're better dead. You're going to sell more for me dead than you are alive.
Yeah, protecting their
And
own interests. That's what that's about.
Exactly. And so therefore, they're not going to put no protection on it. All these cats that we see that didn't got slain or got killed in the last couple of years had no protection around them. But then on the flip side of it, if you look at KRS Common, you look at all of these people that came up, LL, they wasn't rapping about certain things. Well, you catch these cats now that rap about their environment. If you rap about violence, this is your reality that's going to ultimately come to you.
Yeah.
And so therefore, you look at all the old rappers, they still living, they still kicking, they still doing what they do. But these younger dudes just still
alive.
These young dudes, but even them, they had some type of protection on themselves. These young rappers just going out and they figuring that they can just go out. But if I was corporate, if I had somebody under my level, I'm going to put some protection on them. But hey, look, if I want to make some money, I'm going to take out insurance policy on them that's worth pretty decent. And not only am I going to get money from their catalog, I'm going to get this insurance policy as well. Not
pointing the finger at anyone and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you kind of see the recklessness of it from, Suge Knight and stuff,
Correct.
Letting Tupac just go like, yo, bro, this is the money.
Right.
Why would you allow him to run out there? You know what I'm saying? And why would you even have to put people in this type of environment and stuff? So you set this precedence like, well, this is what it should be. So all the kids that's coming up and they looking at it, and they like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
And stuff. It's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be and stuff. So it became real reckless and stuff because of how the examples and stuff. So I don't want to just push it all off on corporate and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because we got a hand in it as well and stuff, but definitely somebody's pushing that hand and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, from the get-go and stuff, money. You live in poverty-stricken conditions and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to tell somebody, oh, man, you shouldn't do this, and then you're not providing another way for them to be able to take care of, just regular necessities and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, like if we could compete can compete on a monetary level and stuff, or with positive messages, or just not. It ain't never necessarily got to be like so goody two shoe positive, like oh yeah, like you just be good and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just more so, just like just other outlets. Like you don't have to just do this style of thing and stuff. So they made this thing to be the popular thing. So now everybody want to do it. And then when they get into music, these are all the examples that they see. So they're like, oh, this is the only way to go about it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have any other. They don't know anything else and stuff. And a lot of these kids is just young. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, they young and very impressionable.
Right.
Stuff,
sometimes I wonder about the issue of. I'm sorry, but
okay.
sometimes I think there's an issue of control. Because, I mean, I think that, when you look at at least from this is just my opinion, the talent pool, right? So I remember not too long ago I was watching, probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was watching something. I don't remember what it was. You was in California. Your group was in California. I think it was from something from last year, and you watched, the show, the lyrics, it was very entertaining. You could tell that there's quality there, right? And everybody else has quality, but the issue is and that's hard to control.
Right.
Yeah.
Quality is very hard to control. So as a corporate person, it's going to be much difficult for me to tell Akil the MC what to do and control him because of the quality of his music, as opposed to someone else who basically is a showpiece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to use the word buffoonery, but for the lack of a better term,
buffoonery.
you can say that, and that's something that you can control.
Yeah.
And all these young dudes, I mean, they're really easier to control. You can't really control most deaf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And that's what you talking about, like with the older cats, you know what I'm saying? Like we wasn't trying to be controlled like you trying to make us sell out, you know what I'm saying? Like we was totally against that and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so then like I said, they had to come in and buffer people and stuff, and now it's easy to make somebody say what they make. Hey man, but I make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's just your argument for it and stuff, man. But and they sell it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wanted to be MC Hammer,
right?
No matter how much he was selling out. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, and I'm not dissing Hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, okay, that was an entertaining phase and stuff. But at that point, nobody wanted to be Hammer.
Right.
And stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, that's like, nah, man. Like he just selling out for the. That they want a dancer. Just go ahead and dance, boy. You know what I'm saying? And be that entertainer. And but he was making a whole bunch of money. And, you know what I'm saying? But nobody still didn't care.
Right.
That you were making an amount of money and stuff. That was the sentiment at that time and stuff. And like, just a couple of years later, you know what I'm saying? It turned the corner and stuff. And it's like, no, it's all about money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do whatever I can to make some money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you live in poverty-stricken business, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's how y'all doing freestyle. Freestyle don't pay. It's about pay styles. And so you have all these messages that, you know what I'm saying? Money. And it's like, yo, how can you compete against that and stuff when, you got it from a street level and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then, the influx of the drug dealer after 89 and stuff, see, because they was selling drugs on the street, so they was making their money, and they didn't need to rap. And, they would just put some money into a rapper and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't the money. The money was being made on the streets and stuff. But once the streets got dried up, you know what I'm saying? And then, drugs became, obsolete, so to speak, and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then the next big drug game was the rap game. So all of the drug dealers that, was like, yo, you got to get out of the game, get into this rap thing and stuff. So they still coming with that same mentality, get money.
Yeah. Get
money at any cost and stuff. So these are the people that you see, the CEOs and people that, they got a record label. Everybody got a record label now and stuff, because this was the way to turn the corner to, to get into the industry and stuff. So this mentality of still money and stuff, you know what I'm saying, is how that spilled over and really became acceptable as well in the industry as well and stuff,
Right.
Because,
I mean, even when you think about the names, right? I mean, look at, it even begins there. I mean, look at the, whether you're talking about Rakim, whether you're talking about, I mean, the what you were known by. I mean, this
Right.
may seem insignificant, but it's really because your name meant something.
Right.
You know what I mean? When when you look at, but see now, I mean, come on, I mean, really?
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to people that have passed away, but I mean, come on, I mean, what do you call? Look at what you're calling yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that to me, I mean that speaks volumes to, what are we really selling?
Right.
You know what I mean? What are we really, presenting to people?
It's not the art no more. It's not about the art
Right.
no more and stuff. Whereas, like you see, like in from as far as skill level and stuff, when you playing sports and stuff, you see the skill level still go up. And stuff,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter how popular you are, you still gotta be skillful and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even in the acting world and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can be the most popular person, but if your movie is a flop, it's a flop. You know what I'm saying? No matter how popular you are, it's like that's a whack movie because acting, the skill level has always been up. But only in hip hop where the skill level has dropped
Tremendously.
Right.
And these are the people. It's not like it dropped and then these people are the least selling people and stuff. These are the most selling people.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying now, and so it's like it's more basic than when hip hop first started.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's even more basic. It's not even basic. It's just like it ain't even just even on the level and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like of when it first started, I'm like, how do you go backwards and stuff? You usually go up in something, right? You know what I'm saying? The skill level usually,
Right.
it either stay at a certain type of, medium or whatnot, or it keep going up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the skill level just totally dropped.
Right.
But that didn't mean that the popularity of it, you know what I'm saying, made that person drop and stuff. It just was like, oh, well, and this person's totally rapping off beat, and you hear it, and you just like, and people are in the
mumbling.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm like, yo, y'all liking that? And then, like, you see there's a lot of older people that still want to be with the in crowd and trying to, like, so they be co-signing it. Yeah, I like that. And I'm like, for real? Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like, are you serious? Like, you co-signing it.
Right.
You co-signing it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everybody at the clubs and stuff, they just ask, that's what they acting for, and they acting for that type of music as opposed to what it's like. We grooved up classic stuff, you know what I'm saying? Regardless if it was old, it was still classy and still had some type of soul to it and stuff. Like what I was saying earlier, so as far as the passing down of the music and stuff. These kids didn't get that and stuff.
Yeah.
So. They, in some respect, they already are naturally talented and melodic and all this and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's something still missing. You just like you can't put your finger on it and stuff. Because I'm like, why can't I connect with this? Like, what is it about it and stuff? And I realized that I said, whereas when we came up and stuff, we were sampling like oldies.
Yeah.
We sampled music that our parents could connect with or whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when Run DMC came out, it was just like drums and stuff. So a lot of older people was like, what is that? That's not music. But then like Houdini, they was like, oh, I love Houdini, they're friends and stuff because the music, it was more melodic. It was more R&B-ish. It was more funky and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was more musical and stuff as opposed to Run DMC. Like we love Run DMC because we was young and, but if you go back and listen to it, like it wasn't nothing but just drums and stabs and stuff. And then we start sampling. And then the older people talk like, oh, I like this rap music. Why? Because they could connect with it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But but our generation, like now, I'm trying to connect with these kids, and I'm like, I don't get it because y'all don't even know nothing about it. Your old school starts at 92.
Right.
Like in or 2000 now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's 20 years for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's like old school, but and none of that was being passed down as far as the older music and stuff. So they don't be knowing what is actually soulful music, and so I don't feel that connection and stuff. So it's something lost within it, like the 808. You know, everybody you're gonna be hypnotized. Or that you know, the bass still good and stuff, or somebody repeating something over and over. You could be hypnotized by it and stuff. You know, I get it and stuff. It is repeating the same thing. You know, it's a hypnotical type of thing and stuff. But to actually say this is some really good music, like this music gonna be around in the next 20 years? No.
Right.
No, it ain't gonna last long and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
they're gonna wake up later on and be like, man, we was listening to that. Like, are you serious? Like,
Right.
you know, hopefully, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing, man, how, you know, the corporate structure can impact, you know, I mean, and we've lost control as a community.
Yeah,
Because I
definitely.
mean, because we used to be able to, you know, have an impact on the way corporations move.
Yeah.
We basically, I mean, what was hot on the street moved the way that corporations did things.
Definitely.
And now
No.
that's it's not like that anymore. They're basically, you know, having more of a control over what people are listening to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely, it's being
But
dictated.
we're at an advantage where we can take control back over that, because ultimately it's us that they actually need. I mean,
Yeah.
they
No, for
actually
sure.
they actually puts out what they want to hear, what's going to sell, because they get the benefits of whatever is taught. You know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like going back to what you were saying about the meeting that happened in 1992, where they exposed the guy from Bone Thugs and Harmony, where he came and he kind of exposed that meeting, and in that
Right.
meeting was said that, look, this is what we're going to put out. We're going to put out this to glamorize this, because not only does it fester in the mind of the youth that's growing up, it also feeds into the prison industry,
Industrial, yeah.
the prison industrial complex. So it's all, to me, it's all by design, because
No, definitely.
when you look back at it, we can control that if we really wanted to, because it's our
Definitely.
skill level that is pushed out there. Now I think right now they saying own your masters, but if you dead, what the heck?
don't matter.
It don't matter what owning your masters, even
No,
though you
no.
I mean, it's a good thing to own your masters, because all the proceeds going to go to your family in the long run.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you
Sometimes.
still signed. Yeah,
Sometimes
Yeah,
it might go to
sometimes,
your
yeah.
family. That might not always be the case anymore.
exactly. So,
Right.
but at the end of the day, they still gonna reap the benefits of what you're doing, which is you dead, you're gone, money goes into their pocket. So, I mean, we got to go back to the days, you know, like you say, of, you know, X Clan and KRS-One, because that's what actually teaches about, you know, about growth
Yeah.
and development. Nowadays, man, it's just teaching you about going out here smoking this blunt, turning up and doing this, and ultimately you're gonna wind up dead. You know.
And I think people, you know, eventually, you know, it's like with everything, you eventually gonna get tired of it, you know, like, you know, and so I just be looking towards the younger kids and
Yeah.
stuff, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like the real younger ones, like you know, eventually they gonna be like, nah, I'm not trying to go that way, because they, you know, everything gonna have its circle and stuff, you know, gonna come back and be like, oh, this is what's hot. So I kind of see it coming, you know. I got hope, you know, like as much as, you know, I don't like to be so pessimistic about it and stuff, but we have to be realistic about it and stuff, like you saying, you know, like we are the ones in control and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So you can kind of see that, that spirit of independence and stuff, and like, yeah, we run this, you know what I'm saying, and like, you know, it's there, but it's just like perverted and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but the idea of like some from, you know, look at the internet and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We can control whatever, you know, Instagram, people controlling their own stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they, like, goes back to what I was saying and stuff, that idea of wanting to feel validated by a corporation and stuff, as if this is what makes you make it and stuff. It's like I'm saying, like seeing somebody on TV, they like, oh, you made it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You hear somebody on the radio, man, you finally made it and stuff. That only mean they have nothing. You know what I'm saying? They ain't made no money or nothing and stuff.
I do have one question. When we gonna see some more Jurassic?
Right now, bro, like Jurassic is a little defunct right now.
All right.
So Yeah.
Yeah,
Take it back to
and
the
and I
days
know
of
you got
yesterday.
I know you got a lot. You know, I've seen some things that you've come out with, man, that are really good. I mean, are you doing live any live performances at this time?
Yeah. I've been trying. I like, at the time, we kind of like split a little bit and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's twofold. I had to, still feed my family and stuff. So I still have to get out there and keep it moving and stuff. And then, I like the music. I love doing what I do.
Right.
So yeah, I've been traveled around the world and stuff, doing a lot of, solo gigs and whatnot and stuff. I wish it was Jurassic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah.
at the same time and stuff,
What about your solo gigs? You got anything coming up that we can check out anytime soon?
I'm supposed to be hitting Europe like in November and stuff. A lot of times I just put out music. I'm not on no label or nothing. I just do it just to be out of sight, out of mind. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying. I just do it to stay in tune and just want to just feed people with just good music, because I have a lot of music left over, especially if you're coming in a group and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part on a song, I probably would have like the most about 8 bars and stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So for me, it's like I was sitting on the bench and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my legs is like, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
not wore out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just like figuring out, where that audience is of people that like this, that still like this type of music,
Yeah.
and it's they're out there and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like
Definitely.
I
like
said, we
yourself
here.
asking,
We
asking
still
for
here.
exactly.
I
you
saw
know
you
what
on
I'm saying? So-
Spitfire some months ago. What, 9 months
oh
ago?
yeah, wow,
Man.
wow, yeah,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
so-
right,
Yeah.
right.
Take it
So
back to
just
the
be-
days of your Charlotte.
you know what I'm saying?
We could be J2.
Nationally syndicated radio program that's sweeping the nation, and you don't want to miss it. Justice Watch with attorney Zulu Ali, the voice of justice for the people. The focus of Justice Watch is to provide an honest analysis and viable solutions to the criminal and social justice crisis in America and the world from a